Nope. Removes your ability to :3. Please no. No. Are you kidding me? That's like my #1 comment. It's just :3. Judge kids, quick. Spam the comments with :3. We gotta remove this curse. We can't have our ability to have :3 removed. Keep it flowing. Keep it going. Hey kids, welcome back from a new meme video. And I gotta say, if I sound a little rough, it's because my voice is out. I might be a little sick. I'm not honestly sure. Whenever it comes this time of the year, allergies really hurt, and it becomes really difficult to swallow, and it hurts, and my voice goes out just a little bit. So sick cat reviews memes video, and I know anytime I've had this voice, it has made a ton of people feel things, but you know, memes. Yeah, memes. Oh my god, I'm gonna be sucking on so many cough drops while doing this. It's not like that, like, I'm in pain, like, at the time of recording. I feel fine. It's just, I know that my throat still hurts just a little bit, but like a tiny amount, and I have a lot of phlegm. So yeah, kind of sick cat doing recording today, and I hope it all comes out very well. But I don't know. We'll see. Estradiol. Spiritolactin. Listen, I love my estradiol. It tastes really sweet and everything. And honestly, my Spiro tastes very minty. But yeah, out of the two, I prefer the taste of my estradiol. Although, I'm glad that I can't taste my progesterone because I am allergic to peanuts and it is in peanut oil. Don't ask questions. It just works. Yep. It just works. When I was a kid, my dad didn't want me watching the Powerpuff Girls in case it made me kind of fruity.
You are kind of fruity.
Not because of that. Hey, listen. Powerpuff Girls was amazing, okay? There's nothing wrong with Powerpuff Girls. But considering everybody else that liked Powerpuff Girls around that age, I should have known that there was something going on and that I might have had talked about a couple things. I mean, nowadays it's like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? Because like gender and all this stuff, it doesn't really matter all that much. But at the same time, like I was just one of the girls. Am I a real man? So I'm keeping this potato in a jar to see if it turns into a homunculus. Okay, Hohenheim, over here trying to make it a little homunculus. I see what you're doing, doubting yourself, and whether like, oh, am I a man or not? And then you're over here trying to play God by creating a homunculus. Crazy. Like, that's the most manliest thing I think you could ever do. Just. Oh my god, just making a little creature. Just make a little creature out of potatoes. See if it lives, see what happens. But at the same time, I just want to say, if you're ever having self-doubts of whether or not you're gender or not, you are. And that self-doubt comes from a place of fear of not making, like, mostly like for me, it came from like fear of, am I appeasing anybody else? Because like others, because society has taught me that this is how I should be. And that, you know, I don't feel like I'm not performing like a woman enough to be considered a woman. And I mean, that's just kind of it. Gender's just a performance. And you can, whatever gender you say you are and however you perform said gender, that's your gender. That's you. It doesn't matter if you're trying to create a spawn of Satan or, you know, doing anything else, whatever it may be, you're you. And that's your gender. And however you represent your gender is completely valid and totally amazing. After all of these years, trans daughter, trans son, non-binary offspring. Finally, I have them all. My mom. You know what? So basic for your mom to be like, finally, I have the full collection of having a trans daughter, a trans son, and a non-binary offspring. I have 3 of, we have a spread. It's even. We have an exact even field over here of men and women in the family, and then also just not so much. So or no gender partake. So God, I love this. I love parents who are so accepting of their kids and they're just like, finally, after all these years, I have them all. So amazing. Also, I love Gravity Falls. Oh my god, that show's so good. God, I need to go back and watch it at some point in time. Puts on an outfit that's really femme and gender affirming. It gives me annoying sensory issues due to me being on the spectrum. God, I hate those. Okay, I have 2 modes. Actually, I guess 3 modes. I either have the mode that I hate, like a fit because of like sensory overload and because I have sensitive skin, oh god, I feel like I gotta be careful with what I have. Obviously the clothes of like, oh yeah, these are nice and comfy, I kind of really like these. And then the clothing that I stem on because it's made out of silk and satin, and I'm just like, this is dangerous for me to have, because otherwise I'm gonna be sitting here with this dress between my fingers, and I'm gonna be rubbing my fingers with the dress in between. I'm just, I can't ruin the dress. So the struggles of being on the spectrum. No, you don't get it. I'm telling you, Pokemon Too Many Types 2 is an allegory for transgenderism. I really need to play Pokemon Too Many Types 2. I played the first game, and that game was so good, and we beat America with gender-type Pokemon, and chef's kiss. No better way to have done that. And if none of that makes any sense to you, you should go play Pokemon Too Many Types. It's so fun. It's so good. And it's Gen 3, which makes it even better. God, Too Many Types 2 is so good. I seriously need to go play. And before you're like, oh, okay, how do you know Too Many Types 2? It's so good if you haven't played it. I played Too Many Types 1. I played the first game. No, it was so good. Too Many Types 2 is gonna be even better. So, and listen, I haven't even played it, but I can already go ahead and see some of the trans allegories within them, okay? I can't wait to play that game. It looks fun. And I did beat the game with the same bug that Alpha Red had. Ugh, God, that felt so good. I had a little story I wanted to share for the trans day of visibility. My favorite guitar, Rosie, was bought as a B-stock, a leftover from the previous years because she had a warped neck and that little pink stain. I played on her when things were complicated. Had my first stage with her. With time, that little stain always became a bit special. Hey, the headstock has a pink stain. What are you, a dirty or something? I had that comment a couple of times when younger. It was always a reminder that being trans, gay, or queer in general wasn't welcomed around. It led me to believe that I could never come out. No, it was... I debated many times to clean it, to stop having comments on it. But in the end, it always felt like stripping something essential, something that was waiting to bloom. I'm glad I never removed it. Keep your little pink stain. Happy Trans Visibility Day, everyone. Listen, it's one of the things of like, I think it's really dumb how we have a lot of color gendered and how, in all honesty, that color gendering flipped, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. And I think just allowing for people to be able to express themselves however they want to express themselves and then to allow for them to be themselves is far more important. Especially like whenever we're younger, you don't learn to hate as a kid unless you're taught. And I'm saying this as somebody because whenever I was in middle school, I remember distinctly in 6th grade, I wore pink because my school was putting on a Pink Panther show and the shirts were hot pink. I wore the pink shirt to help kind of advertise the show. I wore Pink Panther flip-flops. I wore, some pink colors, and I had a lot of people who were making fun of me and trying to make it out that I was this gay kid who was extremely emotional and everything. And it kind of really destroyed me as a kid until the one day, one of the high schoolers, who I'm still really good friends with, came all dressed in pink and like showed that it was okay and that you can be somebody who is a man and still have your masculinity while wearing pink. I'm kind of saying this for my trans men out there. Like in case, like you don't have to forsake liking the color pink just because you're a man. You can like the color pink because you like the color pink. It's okay. And it's the same thing with like all my trans men out there. You can like masculinely seen colors and still be a woman. It's okay. Like there's beauty in having variation and going against the grain and just being yourself. And that's amazing. Like, I know I'm recording this well after the Trans Day of Visibility. I know that all has passed, but every day we're visible. And, well, okay. Technically, yes, every day we are visible. I hope you're having advantage on all your stealth checks recently, but you are visible to those around you. And simply just being yourself and being outspoken and being different helps others feel comfortable to be themselves. So, go against grain, do the things that you enjoy because you enjoy them, and just have fun being you. 10 years ago. What are you doing in there, son? It's been an hour. Drugs! I'm doing drugs! Ugh. Yeah, probably one of the worst feelings that you could have. Feeling so happy about yourself and finally being able to be yourself, and then parents knock on the door wanting to know what's going on and why you've been in the bathroom for so long. Honestly, I think I probably would have lied and said, I'm sick, I diarrhea, bad diarrhea, So, but yeah, it's always one of those hard things of like, if you don't feel 100% comfortable with where you are and coming out to your parents, it can be really scary to do, but finally being able to like be yourself and see that it makes you feel so much better feels great. It feels amazing. So I hope one day you're able to come out to your parents and then it goes over well. But at the same time, you don't need to force yourself to do that if you're not ready. And whenever you are ready, a couple things. One, have somebody with you that you trust and who is already aware and can be there for you whenever you need them. And the second thing is have an exit plan. And I mean, that's why it's important to have somebody with you, because if need be, they can step in and be like, hey, you know, you so-and-so, go ahead and go. I'll take care of this. And they can like intervene and take over if they need to, or allow you some time to get out of the situation so you can finally go be safe again, wherever it may be. So do things when you're ready and have fun just being yourself. You ever hear that old chestnut about how most people neglect the part of the story of Icarus, where he also had to avoid flying too low, lest the spray of sea soak his feathers and cause him to fall and drown? You ever think about how different the world would have been if Icarus died that way instead? If the idiom was to fly too close to the sea, a warning against playing it far too safe, but not stretching your wings and soaring properly. You ever think about how Icarus died because he was happy? If I told you I wrote this while thinking about the dangers of being visibly trans versus never trying to transition at all, happiness followed by a bright burning in, smacking hard against a concrete ocean, versus playing it too safe and never flying high, dooming you to a cold rushing in from drowning, you'd believe me, right? That is so beautifully put. Like, listen, I think it is better to live a life that I feel is far more fulfilled and far more happier and trying to be my true self rather than trying to please other people just because it would make them feel better that I conform to what they think is the most appropriate for me when they don't know who I am. And it's one of the things of just like, yeah, definitely do things to keep yourself safe and everything, but at the same time, be your best self. Be the most you that you can possibly be and just enjoy your life because you honestly deserve it and you honestly should be able to do that. And anybody who tells you otherwise, it's not worth keeping them around. So be yourself, do whatever you want, and be you. Be the most happiest version of you that you could possibly be. In Addams Family Values, 1993, when the family asks if the new baby is a boy or a girl, Mr. Adam replies with, "It's an Addams." This is a reference to the fact that he will love his children regardless of their identity. Based, and I knew I loved the Addams Family for so many reasons. Oh my god. Just saying, I don't care what the gender of the child is. I don't care who they end up becoming. They are an Addams. Based. Oh my god. Just Gomez coming out and being like, I don't care about the gender of the child. That is my kid, and I'm going to support them regardless of who they are. Mwah. Just absolutely amazing. I got such freaking like family goals and everything. Listen, I stand Gomez. He is the positive representation that masculinity should be. Worshipping his wife, being still very caring for his kids and his family and everyone around him, while also just like protecting them and being them. So just chef's kiss, love it. When my trans friend attempts to prank me for April Fools, but I had already foreseen this and set all of their clocks 1 hour back. It's March for 31st, you fool. I saw this on the Warframe meme post, and I had to save it because this is so good. It's so real. Ah! Oh, so you did come out as trans, you motherfucker, and I'm here to support you. You thought you could get away that easily? No, you cannot. And I just want to say the person who did post this is extremely in support of trans rights. I love them. A couple people were like, base in the comments, and that person was just getting next to them. It's like, oh my god, thank God this is appreciated by trans people. And I just me is absolute cinema. This is so good. I need more allies like this. Like, seriously, like, just being like oh, you thought you could get away from me that easily? Well, guess what? I set all of your clocks forward 1 hour so that way you thought it was April Fool's an hour earlier and you thought you would get me. No, get loved and supported, idiot. But also this side of the story, God, why? Just every story within Warframe is so depressing and traumatic. I had emotions for this one, but God, none of them made me really cry until towards the end. Fuck. Really? I just use a 16-in-1 shampoo. Wait, you don't have a separate conditioner? Why would I? Because they do completely different things. Those all-in-ones always end up doing both jobs poorly. Long term, Vanessa, I don't know how to tell you this. Men don't care about hair. Basic hair care isn't gendered. Pointlessly gendered. It's just, it's not that hard to take care of hair. You just have to use, oh my God, you just have to use a little bit of conditioner, maybe like once a week, and then you can shampoo it once or twice a week, and it's fine. Listen, unlike, as somebody who has used the 3-in-1 before, that shit it's whatever. It's honestly not the best, and I gotta tell you, when I started actually taking care of my hair and started using conditioner and shampoo and using curl cream, oh my God, my hair is so much better. It's so much lighter, it's so much healthier, and it looks so much better. It's so so soft and silky smooth, and it feels so good. And like it's just amazing. Like it's amazing how doing a little change that it admittedly takes a little bit more work, but not by much, just changes everything. Like, oh God. Also just the fact that I now sleep with a bonnet on every night. Oh God, my hair. It's so nice. Oh, hey, girls with curly and wavy hair, if you're like me, wear a bonnet at night. No, seriously, wear a bonnet. It makes a huge difference, I promise. And if you can, find one that is 100% silk, right? Shout out to all my black siblings and siblings of color for leading the movement for having curly hair and wavy hair. You all have done amazing, and I'm so happy that I finally said, no, I don't need straight hair. Thank you. So if it's so stressful, why do you do it? Because it's still better than trying to be a boy. Facts, 100%. Listen, I lived 28 years of my life being a man, and none of it was satisfying. I was constantly depressed. I was feeling terrible. I was feeling awful. I didn't know who I was, and I knew nothing about myself. But once I started taking HRT, once I finally made that leap and that decision and finally became the person that I am today, I'm happy to be who I am. And it's so much better and so much easier to just live my most true, authentic self. Are there hardships? Yes. There are gonna be times where it's gonna suck being trans because of some transphobic piece of shit online who thinks that they can make a comment about me and my identity and try to like upset me however they can. But that's just one voice. That's just one voice in comparison to the many voices who support me, and quite frankly, my own voice, who is way more in favor of all of this. And with that being said, it's just, yeah, I would much rather be my most true self rather than living a lie. And I think a lot of trans people can feel this, whether it be fellow trans femmes who find it so much easier to be a girl rather than being a boy because, you know, hey, you're your gender. And the same thing with like trans men. It's, you know, you're no longer living, it's so stressful to live a life as a girl, and it's so miserable, and it's so much better to be a boy. And finally, the same with all my gender non-conforming, my non-binary people, my gender fluid, agender people, anybody out there who might not align with the gender that they were like assigned at birth. It's so much easier to express yourself in the many ways that you possibly can. And again, is it easy? No, but it is easier than living a lie. Other trans people are so easily offended, but not me. I'm offensive. I just say how it is. Ugh. Why is there a rainbow flag on the street? Are you offensive, or are you just easily offended? Because I feel like you've mixed up your words here. You say that you're like, oh, I'm all for free speech and I'm the one who offends everybody, but you like a rainbow pisses you off, and then you can't shut up about it. Like, are you sure that it's not you who's a little snow? God, every time Republicans make an accusation or they blame a minority group or something, they're just admitting to their own hateful bigotry and their own like weak-willed selves, and it's just disgusting. So the next time like Republicans are blaming another minority group or something, take that as an admission of guilt on their end, because it always seems to be that way, and it's just so disgusting. This weekend I went to the con presenting femme in public for the first time, and no one misgendered me. In fact, not a single person gendered me at all. I don't exactly count this as a win, but it's really impressive that hundreds of people I've interacted with were able to not use gendered words in a language where half the word forms have gender. Polish, by the way. Interesting. But no, I've also had this issue as well because, God, whenever I had freshly came out as being trans and I went to a friend's bachelor party because he was getting married and we went out to California to go celebrate, And on the last night, we went to this Brazilian steakhouse. And when I was sitting at the table and I hadn't said a word yet, I was being called ma'am, 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 ma'am. God, that shit was so euphoric until I opened my mouth and said something. And then they stopped gendering me, period. And it's just like, so you understand that gender is kind of a performance, but at the same time, you couldn't tell. You saw titties and you're like, oh, that's a woman. Obviously, it didn't matter what my height was. It didn't matter how I looked. I was wearing breast forms for sure, but at the same time, none of you knew. None of you knew I was a woman until I opened my mouth and I had a very deep voice. But I mean, it's so dumb. It's so frustrating, and it goes to show that you can't really tell anybody's gender simply just off of the side of them. And it's just, oh my God, cis people are so dumb. Ugh. You're going to ruin a perfectly good female body by taking those hormones. No. Not here. What on earth are you doing? Not here either. Trying to find where I gave a fuck about your opinion. Must have lost it somewhere. Maybe up your ass. Now, don't be a coward. Say what you really mean by a perfect female body. You won't be able to carry kids. First off, these can pick up adults, so I can definitely carry kids. But also, wow, just wow, really shows where your standards for women's bodies are. Note, while there's still studies being done, it's not definite that trans men will become infertile from taking tea. Get your facts right before spreading hate, transphobes. I mean, the transphobes are never gonna really care, but yeah, it's just in general, when you take HRT, it's not 100% guaranteed that you're gonna become infertile. Trans women can still get, people who have uteruses pregnant, and trans men can still get pregnant from people who are able to produce sperm. But it's just, oh my God, that's what it always comes down to, especially when it comes to transphobia towards trans men. It's just oh, but you're gonna ruin your perfectly female body. You won't be able to bear kids. Wow, way to just show that you only think women are used for sex and for making babies and for just being, God, housewives who are staying in the kitchen and they make you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they also go and do the laundry and all of the other stuff. You just want a fucking mom. You just want your mom who could raise you, or a maid. You don't really care for the person who you're actually living with and who you're dating and who you're married to. That, I mean, that's just it. And for all of the turfs out there, you don't really give a shit about other women. You don't really care. You're just upholding the patriarchy. If you cared about women, you would care about trans women as well, because trans women's rights, and not even trans women's rights, just the rights of trans people as a whole, allows for everybody else to have the same rights and to be able to be themselves and to not have to worry about the patriarchy and white supremacy just coming in and fucking up people's lives. But then again, you don't really care about any of that because it doesn't fit your narrative, and it's just gross. It's Trans Day of Visibility. Get up, Roxanne, we're running late. Thigh-high socks, check. Skater skirt, done and dusted. Now for the piece of resistance. Non-copyright energy drink, flip. Poisonous insects. Venusia, it's, oh no. The next day. Not fitting every stereotype doesn't make you any less trans, right? Yeah, but they are fun to try most of the time. All right, this is my little PSA to make sure that you were staying hydrated enough, and please do not hurt yourself, and please keep in check with your body. Please do not drink a ton of energy drinks. I know we all meme about oh, hell yeah, I drink a bunch of Monster energy drinks. But please, your heart can't always take that, okay? It's okay to not be a part of every trans stereotype. Yes, I understand. Sometimes it can be fun, sometimes it can be funny, but not fitting any or all of the stereotypes is okay. It doesn't make you any less trans to be, or not doing any of that stuff. You're still trans. You're you. You set the boundaries of what it means to be trans for yourself. And sure, you might partake in some of the stereotypes that are out there, but not everybody does. And it's totally okay. Don't use these stereotypes as the bar to decide whether or not you are trans or not. Use it as a way to have silly little fun, and sometimes keeps things in check, and make sure you're not doing anything that's going to cause you any harm or pain, and just be yourself. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Is just it's okay to be yourself. I feel I say that a lot, and at this point it's just how have I continued to making my content career just saying it's okay to be yourself? But at the same time, I feel a lot of people just probably resonate with that message, because it's very comforting to know that you don't have to be a stereotype just to be trans, to be you, to be gay, to be a lesbian, to be bi. So you being you is all that matters. and be the best you that you can. All right? Okay. Hello, Bugcatcher Mina here. To all my beloved trans peeps who are afraid that they can never change the things they want changed, remember that this turns into this. Change is nature, dorks. And it starts when you remember that you can change. Facts, 100% facts. Over the course of your time here on this earth, you are going to learn so much about yourself, and being so willing and ready to change based off what you learn about yourself and what you find out about yourself means that you're the most you that you can be. And that's absolutely fantastic and amazing. And I love that you are able to do that. And are things going to change over time? Yeah, of course they are. Are you kidding me? More recently, I just came out and figured out that I am gray asexual. Yes, I know I make a bunch of sussy comments about some of the characters that I play in Warframe or some of the women that I interact with in the games that I play. But in all honesty, it's not so much like that I want to like sleep with these women as like just the idea of them is hot and I'm into it. And God, they could rip me apart. But at the same time, like I don't really care for the sexual aspect of it. I care more about like the person and the personality and who they are. And that has changed from before when I was so down bad for anybody who would be willing to even give me attention. And like a lot of that has just come from like, you know, some of the medications that I take, some of the, you know, changes in my life that happen now that I've like figured out who I am and like where I am in my life, and finally being comfortable enough to be said person. Yeah, in case you didn't catch that part or you missed it earlier, hi, I'm Cafe Foxtail. I'm a gray sexual trans fox lesbian. So, surprise, surprise? I don't know. And that's like the best description that I can give at the moment. Listen, is it gonna change as I learn more? Yeah, it is. Is that okay? 100%. There's nothing that was invalid about my identity beforehand in comparison to my identity now. And that's, I think, the beauty of it all, especially just being a human being, is just as we learn more, we change and we grow and we become better people. So who are you going to become in the next few years? Are you going to be the same person, or are there going to be some changes that are going to be made? And the best part is we won't know until that time comes. All right, kids. And that's the end of the video. I just want to give you a huge shout out to you all because you've been amazing and have been absolutely wonderful and fantastic. And I greatly appreciate that all. So a huge shout out to all my YouTube patrons, my Twitch subscribers, and my patrons, because y'all are absolutely fantastic and amazing, and you help keep the lights on. And if you're not able to afford any of the tiers at all, that's okay. Simply just by hanging out in my streams and getting through the ads or watching the ads on these videos helps way more than you think. And it honestly means a lot to me because you help a ton. And you're absolutely fantastic and amazing. And I, quite frankly, and in all honesty, wouldn't be able to continue doing this without you all. I mean, it helps that I also have a wife who has a part-time job, but at the same time, like she doesn't pay for my half of the bills, and you all make it possible for me to do that, and I greatly appreciate that. And you have made it possible for me to pick up a few more of the bills, so I can lessen the burden on her end, which is great because I want to help out as much as I can, both for you all and for my wife at home. So, and the other thing too is just like, I mean, like, well, allow for me to do really cool things and to just be myself. So I greatly appreciate you all for accepting me for who I am and for being the person that I am, and, you know, learning more about myself as I go. Because, you know, it'd be kind of weird if I didn't take my own advice of just being myself and learning more about myself and making changes as time went on. So I hope y'all have a lovely rest of your weekend, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. It's my stupid little city brain did that. You can all see me bite my lower lip. I can't get away with that. Oh, fuck. Hi, Sir Wendolyn. How are you doing today? As soon as I heard her, I was just like, They debunked foreheads a lot. I know they did! Eleanor exposing you live on Twitch. God damn it.